Hey, this is Francisca and this is my mid-crisis life. So yesterday I was in a nice little singing session in my kitchen while I cooked dinner. And I don't often get to do it anymore because I really like to listen to loud music and I like to be consumed, enveloped in music and being able to sing and being able to express myself in that way. And for me, it's a really cathartic thing, singing. Um, Even if I never do it on the stage, and no one ever gets to hear it, and I never get any, like, I don't know, whatever financial benefits or acclamation or whatever from singing. It's actually really, really, really cathartic. I really enjoy it. When I'm feeling down, it lifts my spirit, it connects me back to my body, it connects me back to my soul, and it's beautiful and I love it. So I've been singing for about 45 minutes in the kitchen while I'm cooking and all the rest of it, and I'm just having a lovely little time. Um, and then my son comes downstairs because my eldest son comes downstairs because he needs to go to the gym and he needs food and he needs time to rest in between when he's eating and all the rest of it. So I serve him his dinner and he goes off into the dining room and he sits down and he starts eating. And I come in the dining room because my mum's also eating. I've cooked for her, obviously. So I serve her dinner and she goes in there and I'm kind of singing a little bit under my voice and whatever else. And he just explodes. He's like, "Can you shut up now? I've had enough of this. I don't want to hear it anymore." And I'm like, "What difference does it make to you if I'm singing?" He's like, "Because you know that songs get stuck in my head." And I know that that definitely is an issue. And I'm saying to him, "But you don't even know this song. You don't know this music. How can it get stuck in your head? Like, you just don't want to hear it." Anyway, we have a bit of a row and he's busy shouting at me because his needs aren't being met. And I got really upset. So now I'm walking around the house being all kind of pissy, saying like, "Oh, okay, you know, what was I saying? I can't even remember now. I was saying, I'm holding everything together. I'm managing everybody else's needs. Everybody gets to do what they need to do in order to make themselves feel better. I'm just sucking everybody's shitty energy in and maintaining everything. I'm the only one who's got any fucking self-awareness. But when I'm down, who's holding me up? Who's helping me? Who's there for me? And I can't even do the one thing that makes me feel better." On and on I went. Anyway, I had a little tantrum and then I sat down. And afterwards, my mum came into the front room and she said, "Frank, come stand up." "Why? What do you need? What's going on? What is this?" So stand up, and I stood up and she gave me a hug and she said, "Look, I know that it's hard. He doesn't mean it, Fran. He doesn't mean it. Blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Mum, I'm not even so annoyed. It doesn't really bother me that Josh is shouting at me. 21 years into his autistic meltdowns, not that bothered about it, to be perfectly honest. The thing that bothers me is that I feel like a lot of the time I'm managing everybody else's behavior, everybody else's emotions in the house. And sometimes I need to be filled up. Sometimes that takes a lot of exertion of energy to do that. And sometimes no one's doing that for me. So if I can't even do it for myself, like, everything's going to go to shit." She's like, "Well, I don't really believe that things are going to go to shit. I don't really see how you're managing everybody's behavior. I don't see how you're managing everybody's needs." And I said to her, "Look, I feel like in this house, I am the peacekeeper. That is my role. And I am happy to take that role if that is what it needs to happen in order for things to function, in order for the dynamics to be manageable, yeah, in the house. But I also need to find my own peace sometimes because nobody's being the peacekeeper for me." My mum said to me, "Well, I don't know how you're the peacekeeper for me. I manage my behaviour all the time. I manage my emotions all the time. You talk about being self-aware. I'm self-aware. She said, there are times when I feel like I could explode, but I don't, because I think that it will make a bad atmosphere for the house. So I don't do it. With respect. Yeah. I love my mum. I do. I love her dearly. But I would not say that my mum is managing her emotions the majority of the time. There's like a constant atmosphere. There's a constant atmosphere, oppressive atmosphere of very high levels of stress that everybody is under in the house. You know, because God forbid that you might throw a dirty bit of paper in the recycling, or that you might place your cup here instead of here, or that after you've washed up everything, that you might forget to not only wipe the sides down, but wipe down the sink, and then wipe down the cupboard, and then open the cupboard and wipe the edge of the door for the cupboard, and then the inside of the cupboard, and then wipe the side, and then get a tissue paper and dry everything afterwards, and door and all the rest of it. Heaven forbid that you might not do that. Heaven forbid that you might fold the tea towel incorrectly and then hang it in a way over the oven door that isn't even, and the tea towel is uneven. Heaven forbid that you might do these things, because if you do these things, it is a fucking catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. But yet I have my mum sitting here telling me that she's self-aware and she's managing her emotions on a day-to-day basis. Oh my days. And anyone that knows my mum and anyone that knows me will very easily and very quickly agree with my assessment that I am the person that is holding everything together. I am the person that's negotiating and compromising and being the bridge between various different personalities, various different needs. My mum with her, I don't know, whatever it is, whether it's a personality disorder or some kind of like neurodisability, there's that. There's my son with his brain damage and his autism. There's my 14-year-old who's a 14-year-old and then has OCD and all the rest of it. And then there's me in the midst of all of it, trying to make sure that everything doesn't fucking go to shit or explode. But you know what was interesting about that conversation with my mum? It was interesting to think about, or to see, that in her assessment, her assertion is, her belief, her perspective, right, is that she is working hard to manage her behaviour. And here comes pompous me, supercilious me, talking about how nobody else can manage their emotions in the house. And everybody is just an emotional fucking wreck. And I'm the only one that's dealing dealing with my emotions. I'm the only one that's self-aware. And it got me to thinking, it's probably the case, right, that everybody in the house feels like that. Everybody in the house feels, I'm doing everything that I can to manage my shit, yeah, in order that things don't explode, in order that I don't explode, in order that there isn't constant arguments and constant negative energy and a negative atmosphere in the house. Everybody that lives in that house could probably say the same thing. My eldest son could probably say, well, I'm managing my disability so that I'm not triggered by absolutely everything that happens around me, because he could be triggered by everything. My youngest son is probably saying, well, I'm managing my hormones, um, and this massive, rush of testosterone that I'm having at the moment that would cause me to explode on anybody at any given time. And my mum obviously feels the same way. And it made me think about, I don't know, it made me think about how people see themselves, right? And how people see the world and how people see their contribution. And that actually, is it measurable? Is it comparative? Or is it relative? And should everybody be acknowledged and upheld and thanked for the extent to which they manage their own and other people's needs, other people's issues, their own issues, other people's issues. And it makes me think about something that I always say to people about their parents, particularly children who might have been removed or have had really difficult childhoods, who have had a lot of harm inflicted on them. I always say, your parents, believe it or not, gave 100%. They gave 100% of what they were capable of giving. Whether that in reality amounted to no more than actually 10% of what a child needs growing up, that doesn't matter. It wasn't for want of trying. It wasn't for want of desire to give, to improve, to do the best that they could. Just maybe the capacity was lacking. And I think that that's really applicable to a lot of things. I think everybody's giving 100%, right? I think nobody is like, well, you know what? I could give 100% and that could be beneficial for everybody, but fuck it, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. Everybody probably feels like they're giving the most that they can. And that's why people get annoyed when people say that you're not trying. Maybe just the capacity, the space that that person has, the capacity that they have to give, that's all different, right? So I guess what I'm saying is that I shouldn't really compare myself to my family members. That I shouldn't really feel sorry for myself like I'm the only one that's doing anything, I'm the only one that's trying. And that I should acknowledge that actually everybody's doing the best that they can, irrespective of what that actually equates to in reality. And that actually is really pompous to have tantrums and be like, I'm the only one that's doing anything. Because really, actually, what am I saying then? I'm the only one that counts. I'm the only one whose actual needs count. So yeah, I think that's it really. It's something that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that my mum came into the room, that she took the initiative to try and comfort me. It's not something that she does very often. She's not a very physical person, like physically, like affectionate, expressive in that way. She's not massively empathetic either. So it really does mean a lot for her to acknowledge that, okay, I'm struggling and maybe I need some care. I need a little bit of TLC in this moment in time. So yeah, I think that is definitely something to be grateful for. Okay, I think that's it.